My fiancée and I are having serious issues after she vented to her sister about my sister's personal life, and her sister went on to message my sister's ex-husband, telling him that he had been cheated on. Posted by you/plenty_@_5810. Throwaway account, for obvious reasons. My fiancé, 30F, and I, 36M, have been together for 3.5 years, engaged for 18 months, and are getting married in May. I thought things were wonderful, but we've hit a major problem. I work in the shipping industry and have been away from home for most of this time. Sorry for the long post, there's a lot of background that led to this. A little background: my sister and fiancé were best friends throughout our relationship. I'm very close with my sister and my parents. My fiancé is very close with her sister, and we considered everyone as part of our own families. This past year, my sister left her mentally abusive husband for another guy. Her new boyfriend has a bad past and a criminal record, so understandably, everyone is skeptical of him. However, my sister's relationship with her new boyfriend is a separate issue that I'm not going to get into. It's not my business as long as she is safe and happy. Since she has been with this new guy, my fiancé has been very vocal about her opinion of him, calling him a criminal. This has, of course, put a strain on their friendship. A little over 3 weeks ago, while going over wedding planning, my fiancé told me she did not want my sister's boyfriend at any of our wedding festivities. She said she was going to approach my sister about it. A few days later, she was afraid to and asked me to talk to my sister instead. I told her I would handle it. Knowing this request would hurt my sister's feelings, I asked my mom for advice on how to approach the situation. My mother became upset and was worried that if I asked my sister, it would damage my relationship with her. I knew it would hurt feelings, but I wanted to try to find a compromise. After my conversation with my mom, I told my fiancé how it went and that my mom was upset. I wanted to give everyone time to cool off since we still had 3 months until the wedding. I asked my fiancé to be patient, as this was not an easy subject to bring up. My fiancé was not happy about my mom's reaction and was upset as well. Later that night, my fiancé had a long FaceTime call with her sister and vented about her frustrations. This becomes a problem later. A few days passed, and unbeknownst to me, my mom had spoken with my sister, and they agreed that her boyfriend would not attend. At this point, they hadn't told either my fiancé or me about it. Then, my sister's ex-husband received an anonymous Facebook message telling him that my sister had cheated on him and left him for a criminal. The message was full of half-truths and assumptions, and coincidentally, the few truths included were things my sister had only ever told 2 people, my mom and my fiancé. When my sister's ex-husband told her about the message, all hell broke loose. The next day, I was unaware of the anonymous message until my fiancé told me she had something to confess. She admitted that her sister had sent the anonymous message to my sister's ex-husband, believing she was telling the truth. My fiancé claimed that she had only vented to her sister and that her sister acted on her own. The message contained details that had only been shared with my mom and fiancé, so naturally, my fiancé was the prime suspect. However, no one initially believed she was capable of doing something like that. I told my fiancé that it would be best if her sister confessed to clear my fiancé's name. She was upset about the whole situation but agreed and spoke with her sister. The next morning, I woke up to a chaotic group chat. My fiancé's sister confessed in a group message that included me, my fiancé, my sister, and my mom. She explained herself, and while there were some heated words at first, it seemed like things were starting to clear up. That was until my fiancé decided it was a good idea to get drunk and tell everyone off. At that point, it became just my fiancé attacking my mom and my sister, telling them how horrible they were in this whole ordeal and how much she hated my sister's boyfriend. This went on for a couple of hours through texts. I woke up the next morning to find out about all of this. At first, I was confused and upset, trying to figure out what had happened and how to keep the peace between my family and my fiancé. She thinks I took my family's side instead of hers, even though I was on her side, until her drunken outburst. My fiancé even laughed about my family being upset. That was 2 weeks ago. Over the next week, we didn't talk much. There were a few heated words, but we agreed to give it time to cool off and to approach things level-headed. After a week, unbeknownst to me, my mom went by to try to talk with my fiancé. My fiancé was in the driveway leaving for work when my mom arrived and told her she couldn't talk right then. Later that night, my fiancé sent an angry barrage of texts to my mom, blaming her for everything. I have a sneaking suspicion that my fiancé was drunk again when she sent them. Since I work on ships, I was out of town. I had gotten off work early specifically to come home and work things out, as it's difficult to resolve these issues while being away for so long. This was 11 days after the anonymous message, and I was at the airport on my way home. At this point, I thought things were calming down and that we might be able to talk things out calmly. Instead, I received several texts from my fiancée saying she refused to pick me up at the airport and that she wanted to stay in the guest bedroom when I got home. My parents ended up picking me up, and that's when I found out about the angry texts my fiancée had sent my mom the night before. When I arrived home, I finally had a sit-down conversation with my fiancée 3 days ago. According to her, she has no regrets and refuses to apologize for the way she acted. She sincerely believes that her sister was right in sending the anonymous message. We both agreed to stop talking about it for the day to prevent it from escalating into a yelling match. It's been 3 days, and we've hardly spoken to each other in the house. As for me, I can't stand by and let someone intentionally hurt my family. I have talked with my family about it, and they are willing to give my fiancé another chance on my behalf. However, my fiancé refuses to be anywhere near my family and believes I have chosen their side, even though I've been trying to keep the peace between everyone. Is there some way I can approach this and still keep both my family and fiancé? Relevant comments. Commenter. I mean, do you want to keep your fiancé? She sounds like a drama llama, someone who has no trouble burning multiple bridges in a blaze of glory. Think of how differently this could have gone if she hadn't decided to go scorched earth everywhere. She could have said, I don't feel comfortable with this guy with a criminal past at my wedding, and maybe told the sister that you guys are keeping a tighter wedding budget and guest list, so she can't bring A+1. Simple. Instead, she blabs things she was probably told to keep secret to her own sister, who then messages the ex-husband, like, why, it's so unnecessary, and all this leads to further drama, further hurt, and now she's not admitting fault for any of it. At the very least, I would expect her to be mortified that this got so out of hand and maybe blame some of her actions on alcohol consumption, not that this excuses any of it. Your family sounds very graceful. I would just think hard about whether this is the kind of person you truly want to spend the rest of your life with. How many more fires are you going to find the next time you go out of town for a work thing? She is not even willing to admit fault, which is not promising. Update 15 days later. Well, first off, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who replied to my original post. A couple of the replies were a little harsh, but looking back, that's exactly what I needed to hear. I broke up with my fiancée almost 2 weeks ago, and when we sat down to talk, she was still adamant that what her sister did was the right thing and didn't care that it hurt my family. She didn't apologize, showed no remorse, or any sign that she would be willing to work with me on this. This left me with no choice but to break up with her. The first couple of days were quiet, a lot of crying and sleeping in different rooms, no arguing or fighting. Then, 2 days later, she went to stay at a friend's house, and that's when things got bad. She would purposely come back to the house only when I wasn't there and bring her sister with her. She took a few more things from the house than we had agreed upon, and her sister decided my couch was a great place to change a dirty diaper for her baby, leaving a leaking, dirty diaper on the couch for me to find. Then, over the next few days, a smear campaign started on social media, along with lies told to friends. I, however, have stayed quiet on social media regarding the breakup and have been keeping my distance, trying to let things cool down. I have now blocked my ex-fiancée on every platform, including emails, as it was nothing but her trying to drag me into an argument that would go nowhere. TLDR, fiancée wouldn't talk it out, we broke up, and she showed her true colors. I dodged a bullet. Thank you, kind Redditors, for helping me see the light. I had a hunch that things weren't all that great, but I needed some strangers to tell me to pull my head out of my rear. Relevant comments. Commenter. So sorry you have to experience this. Just focus on how lucky you really are to have dodged that bullet. Damn, she would have been an entitled nightmare of a wife. Good for you. I hope your sister doesn't feel guilty about it, I would worry that it might happen. Ops response. I've already talked with my sister about it. Apparently, there were times in the past when my ex-fiancé got drunk and tried to start trouble with my sister about me. My sister didn't tell me about this until after the breakup, but apparently, it contributed to her distancing herself from my ex. Commenter 2. How did her new boyfriend react to all of this? Have you talked to him as well? Ops response. He actually laughed it off. I was surprised he reacted so well, probably the best out of everyone involved, lol. Commenter 3. I just read the original post and then this one. I also want to add that your former fiancé and your family are very judgmental. Just because your sister's boyfriend has done bad things in the past doesn't mean he's a bad person. People deserve second chances. If he is treating your sister right, he should have been invited to the wedding as her guest. But your ex showed her true colors, so good on you for seeing that. Ops response. After all this has transpired, my family has given her boyfriend a chance. He has been very upfront about his past and has actually been a big help with some family business. He seems very sincere about becoming a better person. I hope this holds true, as other Redditors have pointed out that both my sister and I haven't made the best choices in previous partners, lol. Commenter 4. I find it surprising that you didn't know how drama-prone she was after 3.5 years. I wonder if that's because she was able to hide her drinking and personality deficits since you were on ships a lot. Maybe something to consider for the next woman who comes along. Ops response. When I came home unexpectedly, I found 7 empty alcohol bottles throughout the house, as well as overflowing trash and old dog poop from the bad freeze over Texas a few weeks ago. These were the big handle, almost gallon-sized bottles of gin and rum, and they hadn't been there 3 weeks prior before I left. It looked like something from a hoarder. For a long time, just a few days before I would return home, she would complain about having to clean the entire house. Now I know why. Every time I came home, the house was decently clean but never looked like she had spent days cleaning. She had been hiding the true amount she was drinking from me while I was gone all this time. Commenter 5. You might want to let your friends know what happened if she's starting a smear campaign. The person who gets the story out first is usually the one who is believed. Ops response. Already have. Come to find out that there had been numerous occasions when I was away for work when she would be up till 3 a.m., drunk, ranting, and calling numerous friends over the past year or so, just trying to talk drama about someone. Come to find out, several of those times, she was trying to stir up drama against me. Those friends shut her down. I have definitely found out who my true friends are through this, and the friends I lost through this weren't really friends at all.